What's up, guys? How you doing? Happy Friday. Let me know if you guys can hear me okay because I have a new microphone. I have a new mic set up. So let me know if you guys can hear me. It's like a huge microphone, right? Like my husband bought it. It's like a really professional one. And it's like I don't want it to be like all like in the camera, like in my grill or anything. So yeah, let me know if the sound is okay, how it is with the mic off camera. But what's up, guys? What's up? How you doing? Yay! Some of my people who are always here are here right now. So happy Friday! Welcome to Coffee Talk. So this is my weekly astrology on Lada on her YouTube, and my name is April. And I am an intuitive Western astrologer. If we have to put titles on things, that is me. So what I usually do every Friday, if you're new here, is I go through the astrology from one Friday to the next, go through the transits, some of them for each sign. I go through each sign of the zodiac to see how you're affected. And I also go into some celebrity astrology, some celebrity talk at the end, but it's not gossip and scandal. That's not my style. It's more like, let's observe these people astrologically to see what makes them tick, what makes them do what they do, why are they going through something, why do they act the way they act, stuff like that. So yeah. So I had we posted earlier before we started here, if you guys would like me to look at any celebrity couple, because it's Valentine's Day next week, or this week that I'm covering is Valentine's Day, and I just thought it would be appropriate to cover a couple, but I kind of did that last second. There were some things that you guys had emailed me about, to look at, and I appreciate that. But I want to do a couples chart, because of Valentine's Day, and also because I do have a special right now on love readings that I do for you guys on astrolada.com. And so I wanted to demonstrate like what exactly I do to a certain degree. I keep things a little more detailed and personal, way personal when I look at your charts, but I still wanted to demonstrate. And so, yeah, let me know if you guys have like a celebrity. Oh yeah, okay, so the mug that I have today is Nerves Rule, and it's like this pixelated letters. The reason why I have this mug today for my tea during Coffee Talk is because of the eclipse in the sign of Aquarius. We have a solar eclipse in Aquarius next week, which is on the 15th of February, and it is making a sextile aspect to its ruling planet, which is Uranus. So Uranus rules Aquarius, it's speaking to the Aquarius eclipse, so I just thought this was an appropriate mug. Because Aquarian energy is like very nerdy and technological, and it's all about technology and stuff like that. So that's why I have this mug today. Yes. So how are you guys doing? How are you guys doing? Olivia said it's a Virgo mug. Yes, I also use that mug during Virgo transits too, because Virgo is kind of like nerdy in a sense, very, very technical, not technological like Aquarius, but it's like technical, like going into extreme detail and down to the nitty gritty of stuff. Yeah. So anyhow, so let's talk about what's going on this week. And of course, yeah, let me know, guys, a celebrity couple. If I don't, and I'll try to like take a peek into the chat and see what you guys are saying and take little tallies and stuff mentally. And if I don't really come up with anything, you know what, I'll pick something in the end. Okay. Before we get started, so I do have some specials on astrolada.com for love and romance readings, and also for synastry readings. So the love and romance readings are if you're an individual and you would like to see what is in your chart as far as your potential for love, like who do you attract? What are you attracted to? Why do you see repeats of like, I see people ask sometimes like, why do I attract losers? Or, why am I mainly attracted to older men or women, or younger men or women, or just a lot of questions like that are answered in the love and romance reading. And I also give like a little horoscope at the end to tell you when there could be potential for changes in your relationship status, or what's going on with you as far as love. And then the synastry readings, the couples readings, I do the same thing. I go to each individual. I look at your chart as an individual to tell you what you need, what you want, you know, how you are emotionally, what feeds you emotionally, what feeds your soul as an individual. And then I look at you guys as a couple and see how is the energy exchange, you know, and maybe try to make some sense of, like, for example, some people email me and they're like, hey, I'm having a hard time with communication with my significant other. I don't understand why. I got an email like that a few days ago. And when I took a look at their charts, what I saw was one had Mercury in Scorpio, the other had Mercury in Gemini. Two totally different ways of communicating. So I had to really go into detail, like, this is why, because this sign communicates this way, this one the other way, but here's how you guys can understand each other and meet in the middle, okay? So Mercury is like a really big part of relationships. Like, you know how they say, everybody says, communication is the key when it comes to relationships. I know it sounds corny, people say it all the time, but it's absolutely true. And in astrology, yeah, we show that. We really show that. Do I look at asteroids as well? Aurora asks. Thank you, Aurora. Yes, I do. I look at asteroids. I look at Juno, and I look at Eros mainly. There's sometimes some other asteroids that I may look at if I get like a feeling intuitively, like there's something deeper that I have to look at. You know what's really trippy too? If you look at name asteroids, if you have an affinity for people that have a name that's kind of similar and they keep coming up repeatedly in your life, then you may have their name asteroid or an asteroid that's very close to them in name, close to maybe like your Venus or in your 5th house. Like, I have a friend, she always ends up with guys named Matt. Okay, Matt, Matthew, whatever. And we look at her like, really, girl, another Matt? She's like, I don't know why. I don't know why. Guess what? I found Matt all in her 5th house, that the asteroid named Matthew or something very close to Matthew in her 5th house of romance. Yes, she did. And I think it was aspecting a planet or something too. But yeah, you can see stuff like that. But anyway, yeah, so the couples, the synastry readings, I look at the individuals, and then I look at the couples together. And then I do horoscopes for them too, to tell each other, look, this person's going through this right now, so you need to understand that. And then, I tell each partner that about each other. And they could be pretty long. I get really into detail. But anyhow, they're on sale right now. Shameless plug. But I have them on sale because February is the month of Valentine's Day. A lot of people are concerned about relationships and love and stuff, especially around this time of year. So they're on a special, so go check that out. Also, another thing I have on special that I want to tell you guys about, that I just brought up today, but I've been thinking about it all week. So I saw, let's see, J-Lo, A-Rod. You know, I covered them in the summer when they first emerged as a couple. But yeah, we'll see. So anyway, I'm offering also, because of the eclipses, this was brought up. I'm offering North and South Node, past life, current life, karmic readings. Okay, I'm offering those right now and seeing how it works out on a little special. The reason why is because, you know, the eclipses, which we have a solar eclipse coming up this week. The eclipses, the nodes of the moon are associated with them. Whatever sign that the nodes of the moon are in for 18 months, that's mainly where we're going to have eclipses. That's mainly the areas of life where we'll see the biggest, most huge changes, right? But also, we can't forget about the past that can be brought up, especially when it comes to transits of the South Node. Transits of the South Node, the current South Node, and also transits to your own South Node, and also your nodal returns, okay? The nodes are just like, I'm just blown away by the, hold on, I gotta take a sip before I get into this stuff with you guys. Okay, hold on. Okay, Miss Love says, what do you think of tarot cards? I love tarot cards, they're lovely. I use them, not as much as I do astrology, but yes, I use them. Anyhow, so this week, what happened was, I have South Node in Aquarius. Mercury transited over my South Node. That day, it was crazy. It was like I got all these downloads of information about my past life. I already know about my past life because I've done plenty of like looking at my South Node, the aspects of other planets to it, and what it all means. And then kind of, I know me personally in a lot of details of my own life. So then I look at like just themes in life that have come up that really point to like filling in more the blanks with the whole past life thing. So there's a lot of stuff that's come up. I already knew, I'm thinking, should I show you guys the chart? My chart, I don't know. I'm a Scorpio rising, so I'm a little weird about that sometimes, but here's what happened. So maybe I might make a separate video on this so I can get into your horoscopes and stuff. This isn't all about me, but this is like an experience I want to share with you guys of what I saw through astrology that is the reason why I want to start offering it to you guys to take a look at it for you, because it brought so much to my attention. And I'm like, oh, and I use myself as a guinea pig a lot with astrology so that I know how things feel and act to be able to advise you guys, you know? So anyway, Mercury transit over my South Node, and oh my gosh, like it just brought up a lot of things. And it brought up a connection that I have with one of my family members, with my sister. I have the South Node in Aquarius at 5 degrees Aquarius, right? My sister's moon, I think, is like 3 degrees Aquarius. So her moon conjuncts my South Node. Whenever you have someone's personal planet conjunct your South Node, and you'll find this in families a lot too. Most of the time, it means that you guys had some kind of connection previously in a past life, right? So my mom used to say when my sister was little, oh, she's been here before. She was probably all of our mothers or all of our parent in the family before. She used to just kind of say that loosely when I was little. But now that I look at our charts, I'm like, my mom was right. That was like an intuitive thing she got, you know? And it's because you could see that through the South Node. So anyway, I just got a lot of information that came to me about, once again, I'll do a separate video on this, but I saw how in a past life, I was a big time community person. I was very concerned about my community and my neighborhood, and I was really loud and vocal about it. And I kind of wanted to do something like, I was kind of like, man, F the system, F the government, you know, screw all of them, right? And then because of that, I felt like a lot of things were not fair. They were not fair. Why people couldn't have be financially well off like other people can and stuff like that, you know? And I was really concerned about my area and my people in my area. So because of that, I participated in illegal activities in the past life that has to do with money. I'm still trying to figure out exactly what it was, but all I know is ever since I was younger, some of my all-time favorite movies have to do with bank robbing. But it's not just like, woo, let's rob a bank to throw money in the air and be rich. No, there was a story behind it of people who had good hearts and good intentions, but they just felt like life wasn't fair. The system's not fair. And that's why they did stuff like that. So anyway, I've always felt a connection to stuff like that. And looking at my South Node, now I know why. It's crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy stuff. But it really brings a lot of lessons about how to handle that energy in this life and what not to do to go back to the past life tendencies. You know what I'm saying? It's like I have like lots of Aquarian energy now in this life. And I always find when I look at you guys' charts, I look at the South Node, but not just the South Node itself. I look at the sign it's in, the house it's in, the aspects, and what that means about who you were, like what kind of person you were. And then I look at your natal chart, the rest of it, and I'll find like you have some of the same energies as your South Node. So you know how we all always say stuff like, oh, the South Node, you're supposed to let go of that completely and only go towards the North Node. No, that's not true. You're supposed to still stick with some things to do with the South Node. And usually you're given some of the qualities of the South Node. Like, again, you're given that chance again to relive that energy and those personality traits, but you're supposed to do them differently this time. So it really tells a lot about about your whole life, like what you know what I'm saying? It tells a lot about that. So anyhow, yeah. So I am now offering those readings so I can give a really detailed and intuitive look at your karma in this lifetime based on the nodes and based on the nodes in association with the rest of your chart. You know what I mean? So Those are $42. Go check on my website or on Astrolada on my web page on Astrolada. And I would be so happy to look at that stuff for you guys. It's not just based on like career or love or anything. It's like overall, and it does have to do with the people that come in contact with your South Node. Like if you meet somebody and they're in the same sign as your South Node, for example, you can feel like familiar with them, or you can feel like they're bringing you back down to tendencies that there's a little voice in your head that's like, nah, I shouldn't do that. But then this South Node person is like, yeah, come on. And you're like, I don't know. Like some people don't really have that little voice and they just do. And then they have to learn a hard lesson, you know? So your South Node can show you those hard lessons that you had in your past life and that you can easily just repeat if you don't stop and think about them. And other people of that sign may bring you back down to those tendencies. You know what I mean? Like if you have South Node in Gemini, and Gemini is an awesome messenger, they're deliverers of news and information and all this stuff, but a negative side of Gemini could be a gossip, you know, someone who goes around the neighborhood, they just talk, oh yeah, honey, did you hear about what the Johnsons are doing? Did you hear about, oh, that person over there and the neighbor over there and, you know, what they're up to? And, you know, oh, I heard that Herbert had an affair. Like, you know, just like really gossipy, right? But this time you're not supposed to do Gemini like that. You're supposed to do it differently. You're supposed to do it to help people to learn things, teach them skills. You know what I'm saying? Be a jack of all trades, you know? So the South Node can really show a lot. So anyway, in light of the eclipses and the South Node epiphanies that I had the other day that are like so crazy, I'll have to tell you guys more later. I'm offering these readings, so go check them out and let me know. Let me know also in the chat and like in the comments if you guys have ever had a past life reading, or if you understand through your South Node like who you were in a past life. I'm so fascinated with that now, and I want to hear what you guys have to say about how that stuff pertains to your karma with your nodes and stuff. So let me know. Let me know. Yes. So moving along, we're going to get into the astrology of the week. Just had to take a sip on that really quick. So what's going on first? And once again, people who are joining in, who are newly joining in, Outback Jacks, you sort of got like a gangster vibe. And that's another part of my past life, is being affiliated with stuff like that too. I've always had an affinity for it, but this time around, it's like I keep my distance, but I still have a connection to stuff like that. So that's an interesting observation, Outback Jacks. Thank you. I still kind of live in that a little bit, but not completely. Elizabeth, I have a North Node in Libra. That means you have a South Node in Aries. So you got to check out your South Node in Aries and what exactly that means as far as how you were in a past life. All right. So yeah, let me know celebrity couples to look at for coffee talk. Let me know who you guys want me to look at for Valentine's Day. Okay. So what's going on this week astrologically? Let's get into this weather forecast, into the transits. We have Venus entering Pisces on the 10th, on February 10th. So, oh, that is tomorrow because I'm recording this on the 9th. So yeah, okay, Venus in Pisces. What does that mean? Okay. So I'm not going to go into it for every sign because I'm going to do the eclipse for every sign, and that is huge, all right? But Venus in Pisces is wherever Venus transits, that is where we are seeing, that's where we're seeing Venus come to life. Come to life. Me no speak. Okay, we're seeing Venus come to life in real life around us. So we see how people are enjoying themselves, what we are maybe looking at and enjoying more when we're watching TV or watching movies or whatever we watch. When it comes to fashion and stuff like that, you know, that's also where we can see Venus play out in the moment. Anything to do with the feminine, you know, females, feminine topics that come up, they will be themed based around wherever Venus is transiting. For example, while Venus is in Aquarius, Venus is in Aquarius, so we've seen stuff come up. I've mentioned it before, to where everything is about makeup and beauty products, which is Venus, Venusian things that women use or are associated with, being all inclusive, which is Aquarius. You know, Aquarius is about everybody, us all as a collective, being all treated fairly, you know, and being included. So anyway, Venus and Aquarius really brought that up. So Venus and Pisces, I love Venus and Pisces. It's very artistic. Music is also Pisces energy, and Venus is enjoyment. So, I mean, we all enjoy music all the time. I understand. But we will see more also stuff to do with the oceans. The ocean and escapism and vacationing far away is associated with Venus. Let's see. Who? Rutina. Okay, I'm not familiar with them, but I'm writing it down. I'm writing it down. Okay. So anyway, yeah, Venus and Pisces, going to the ocean, really being in this like dreamy spiritual vibe, you know, with whatever you want to do. As far as like fashion and stuff, mermaid stuff, which we see all the time, but you'll see more of it. You'll see more of people really emphasizing on the whole mermaid and unicorn trends and everything like that. Venus and Pisces, how else are we going to see her in action? Venus and Pisces. So Pisces is about like fantasy, okay? Like fantasy, like the movies and film, TV and photography and stuff. And it's glamour. It's the glamour that's like, you know how somebody looks like they're in a glamorous fog with like all this glitter around them and you don't quite see them clearly. They've got this like filter over them. You know what I'm saying? You know those photo filters that we can do now on certain apps on our phone? That's all ruled by Pisces. It's all ruled by Pisces. So more of an emphasis on that. I heard yesterday that Snapchat changed some things in their app. And I noticed people using different filters and stuff too, even though I haven't had the time to participate in it on my own, but you may see some more changes like that, you know, subtle stuff like that. And also, yeah, people will want to enjoy themselves in a more escapist way. So besides all the beautiful, innocent things, like I mentioned about going to the ocean, going on a little vacation, a little getaway, being near a beach or a lake or a river or something like that, if weather permits, some people will be wanting to enjoy themselves, like enjoy a good drink, you know, or 2 or 3 or 5. Pisces is a sign of the drunken fish. Okay, let's be real here. But escaping through, yeah, like anything that you feel takes you away. Remember those commercials back in the day? Calgon, take me away. Like that Calgon bubble bath. I used to love those commercials as a little girl. And I would be like, Mom, because I'm a Pisces moon and we love baths and that's all our thing, right? Mom, I seen that commercial. I want some Calgon bubble bath. I want to be surrounded by bubbles and Calgon, take me away. You know, that's totally Venus and Pisces. Also stuff like going to spas. Going to spas is I would say a Venus and Pisces thing too, because you go there to escape. You go there to relax. Think about the music that's played. Think about the ambiance of a spa. You know what I'm saying? A day spa. Daye spa from Zoolander. Every time I see a day spa, I think of that line in the original Zoolander movie where he says that. But a spa is so relaxing, soothing, takes you away. You can even drift off into sleep or in a trance or meditation in a spa, you know what I mean? And enjoying stuff like that, like meditation, being by yourself and just enjoying music and singing along and not even giving a crap about what time it is or anything like that. That's also Venus and Pisces, enjoyment of the self. So for Valentine's Day, we will have Venus and Pisces, and that is going to be absolutely lovely for going on dates, to the movies, to do anything. And to me, as a Piscean person, I will say this, dates are so much more beautiful and fun when you can just forget about the whole world around you. And it's just you two, and you feel like you're in your own world, in your own time zone. You're not really paying attention to the time. You're just having a good time. You know that song, Funny How Time Flies When You're Having Fun? It's an older Janet Jackson song from like her second album. But it's true though. And Janet Jackson is very Neptunian. She's not a Pisces, but she has Neptune in her first house. So she's very Neptunian. She understands that like time, it shouldn't exist when you're in love and like when you're enjoying someone's company. You know, you shouldn't always be, oh, what time is it? Oh, what time is it? Oh, what time is it? Like, it shouldn't matter. You should just get lost in the person's eyes and in their like energy, you know. It should be totally like exchanged in that way. So yeah, that's Venus in Pisces. We're going to have it in Pisces for Valentine's Day, so that's going to be absolutely beautiful. And yeah, you know, as a Piscean person myself, I remember I used to get annoyed when I would go out on dates and I would expect them to be very romantic, and I would be in that Pisces mood where I just wanted to escape reality with this person. I don't believe in time. The world disappears around me. And I remember I went on a date with this guy I was dating, and we walked to the car and I tried to be romantic and make a move. I grabbed him, I tried to kiss him, and guess what? He like pushed me away. And I'm like, excuse you? What is that about? He's like, people are around. And I'm like, who cares? This is us. You know, we're in our own world. Oh, but it's not the right time. It's not the right, it was never the right time with this guy. And I'm like, time, when it comes to love, when it comes to Piscean energy, like I said, there's no time. It stops. It goes away. Everyone goes away. So tap into that energy. At least try. If you're a person who's more like about your reputation, you're a Capricorn. The person that I went on a date with, they were Capricorn. They were Capricorn. Father time, Chronos, Saturn, wearing a watch. That's all Capricorn, 10th house, Saturn stuff. But Pisces, when Venus is in Pisces, try to like get away from that, you know, and see if you enjoy yourself. Loosen up a little bit. Don't care too much about like, oh, my reputation. Oh, people watching. Oh, people are looking. Oh, just get lost in the moment. Lost in the moment is so Venus and Pisces. And also don't forget, like, also a good way to enjoy yourself on Valentine's Day with the Venus and Pisces energy is through maybe going to a concert with your significant other, maybe like just chilling with them. You don't even have to go out. Just stay home and have some good music on and just like listen to music and talk. I know that may sound lame to some people who are like, no, somebody has to take me out to a fancy restaurant and it has to be 5-star restaurant and it has to be so perfect. And hey, try it out. Try the Piscean way of just, you know, there's music, good vibes, good company, and really just engage and indulge in that and see how you feel. See if you like it. Anyhow. So that's Venus and Pisces on the 10th. I'm looking forward to that. So on the 13th, we have Mercury square Jupiter. And so Mercury is our communication. Jupiter is doing it big and grand, right? Jupiter is grand amounts of information too. And Mercury is like just little bits and pieces of information. They kind of go in one ear, go out the other, and then on to the next thing, right? But Jupiter is like, no, hold up, wait a second. We're going to sit down. We're going to learn this. It's something we're going to absorb. It's going to stick with us for a long time. It could bring us success. You know, it's that type of information. So Mercury square Jupiter, there could be a tension going on between the lower mind and the higher mind. And there could be a tension that it's like, well, this is a square aspect and that's what it brings. It's like it's an energy that's kind of difficult, but like you can learn something from it. You know, there's always like a lesson or something with a square if you learn how to work with that energy. So Mercury square Jupiter could be, I mean, just as simple as like, you don't feel like you have time to absorb like exuberant amounts of information, but somebody is really trying to talk to you and teach you something and you're just like, oh, I don't have the time. Oh my God, my brain is gonna like explode with all this information. But maybe the challenge is, hold up, just sit down and like really try to listen for a long period of time to something. Really try to read and absorb and learn something that can really do you some good. You know what I'm saying? It's not just for entertainment really quick. That's Mercury. You know, Mercury is like court jester. You know what I'm saying? I saw this card. A friend of mine who is a reader, she has this deck of cards. I think she said it there by Doreen Virtue. And they had all the astrological planets on them, and they had these illustrations. And they were so cool because the Mercury one, it had a court jester juggling with the makeup and the hat and all that stuff, the funny hat. I was like, oh my gosh, that's so crazy, because every time I envision Mercury, I envision him as a character that's like a court jester that comes in like, hey, you know, being silly, oh, you know, doing all this stuff, and then he just goes away. He's just entertaining for a second and then he goes away. But Jupiter's energy is different when it comes to talking and information and stuff. So much more different. But I was like, oh my gosh, where'd you get those cards, girl? I've got to get me some because you know I'm all about the planets, okay? So anyhow, Mercury in a square to Jupiter. What else can it bring? Well, Jupiter, since it's about doing it big, this could be decisions that you have to make, which is Mercury. And you can maybe go too far and maybe have too much belief and faith in something without thinking of the consequences in a realistic, logical way first, okay? So you have to, with Mercury square Jupiter, not get too excited, like, yeah, oh my gosh, this is gonna work out. This is gonna work out perfectly. It's gonna be so great, without really, really rationalizing things. So that could also be something we have to work with this energy. It could be thinking just because one little thing is going right in the moment, which is Mercury, what about the long term, which, you know, is Jupiter? You could be like too optimistic, you know? And, or it could be a challenge of the opposite for some people, because some people, they have a way of thinking that's very, very pessimistic and they lack in optimism. And Mercury square Jupiter could be challenging them to have a little bit more of a sense of optimism and faith in things, rather than, oh no, I know right away, this isn't gonna work. No, it's not for me. No, no, it's not gonna work. Yeah, whatever. Maybe the challenge from Jupiter is different. It's like, no, look, listen, if you believe, it can happen, okay? The law of attraction, that's all that Jupiter stuff right there, is law of attraction. So it could be a challenge to really tap into the law of attraction for some people too. And some people, like I said, if they're more on the Jupiterian side in their regular life and in their regular astrological makeup, it could be a challenge to tone it down a little bit with the Jupiter stuff, you know, that means like going too far. So that's Mercury square Jupiter. And now let's talk about the big, huge event happening. On the 15th, we have an eclipse. Dun, 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 eclipse, right? We have an eclipse at 27 degrees of Aquarius, and it's a solar eclipse. So that means it's the sun and moon coming together in the sign of Aquarius. And sun and moon, hey, that's maternal energy plus paternal energy. It's moms and pops, and they come together to conspire something, to build something, to grow something, to birth something, you know, something new. So an eclipse can maybe, if an eclipse, a new moon eclipse, a solar eclipse, if it wipes something out, it's because it wants to clear the grounds to be able to have new land to fertilize. Ooh, fertilize. Ah. Well, yeah, okay. I guess if we want to think of it not in a literal sense, if we want to think of it more like metaphorically, okay? In a metaphorical sense, you fertilize the ground for something brand new to grow. Now, if you were born around the 15th of February, a little bit like a few days before, a few days after, and especially on that day, you are some of the people that may actually see and experience the effect of this eclipse on the day of the eclipse, okay? But the rest of us who have points or planets in degrees that are around 27, but not quite, you know, or you were born like just in the month of February, or you're just an Aquarius, yeah, you'll be affected, but it'll be maybe a little bit more down the line, that, you know, because the effects last like up to several months. So maybe within the next few months, you'll see the effects of the eclipse, or maybe you've already started seeing them, like, you know, this month before the eclipse actually happens. So, oh, David says, getting rid of the clutter, eclipsing it out. Yes, definitely. Eclipsing things out, eclipsing people out. You'll see a lot of people around eclipses say, you know what? I'm going to make some changes in my life. I'm going to cut people off, or brand new me. I'm deleting my Facebook. I'm deleting. And Aquarius does deal with social media. It rules social media. It rules the internet. So you may see people say, okay, I'm gonna start a new website, or I'm just going to get rid of my social media, stuff like that. You know what I mean? Or I'm not gonna hang out with these particular people anymore. This particular group of people, I'm leaving them behind, and I'm gonna start doing something else, hanging out with other people. Look for a new group of my fellow aliens, you know, look for them, and start a whole new life. You know what I mean? So that's what this eclipse can bring for us as a collective. yeah, so oh, hey, what's up, Ben? Ben is here. I think that's your name. HFTL. I think it's your name, right? Ben? Forgive me. But you said you started a website a month ago and you're promoting it now. Yes, very Leo and Aquarius vibes. Yes, definitely. Definitely. Aquarius, new moon in Aquarius in general is a really good website launching time, especially the eclipse if it's like a major life-changing thing for you. Pisces Triple says, oh my gosh, I deleted like 1 million people from my Facebook. Your natal Mercury is right in the eclipse degree. See, look to see if the eclipse lands on any of even your planets. You know, if one of your planets is around that degree, then then that's what can be really highly affected by the eclipse. Like she said, I think you're a she, that their Mercury, the eclipse is going to be right on their Mercury. So that can mean Mercury can rule friendships and people that you talk to. So you can have a really huge change with that. Okay. All right. So, oh, okay. Eddie asked, what degree is the solar eclipse? 27 degrees of Aquarius. So it's at 27 degrees Aquarius, and it's going to be making a sextile, which is a good, easy aspect to its ruling planet, which is Uranus, okay? So Uranus rules Aquarius. They both rule the same things, which can be networking, technology, the internet, large groups of people, your friends, people that you like network with for the sake of like you benefit from them by networking with them. You know what I mean? Like I always see the Aquarius, Uranus in the 11th house is like you can get like a homie hookup from somebody. Like you know people that know people that know people. So for example, you can like get in for free at places because you know somebody. You know what I mean? Like I have a lot of like 11th house energy and Uranus energy. And when I used to go out all the time when I was young and cool, I always knew all these DJs. And so I would always get into free places for free where they were playing because they would always put me on their list, or I knew them, or I knew people that they knew and stuff like that. That's Aquarius, that's Uranus. So yeah, you may find like new people to kind of network with in that way. So yeah, that's the eclipse coming up. So I will get into every sign. Sorry guys, I'm like, when I talk a lot, I'm like, anyway. Yeah, so I will get into every sign to see how this eclipse affects everybody. The eclipse is making also a conjunction to Mercury. So Mercury is involved with this eclipse. So it's definitely something based around communication with others is going to be a part of whatever changes it brings to you based on where Aquarius is in your natal chart. So communication will be involved. Some changes that could be unexpected can be involved because that's what Aquarius rules. That's what its ruling planet Uranus rules, which is aspecting it too. And let's see, it's conjunct Mercury. Oh, and it's also making a square to Jupiter. So let's talk about that for a second here. So the eclipse is making a square to Jupiter. Jupiter is in Scorpio. And so Jupiter, remember, Jupiter is doing it big and it's having lots of faith and belief and optimism that everything's going to work out. And it's the law of attraction and stuff like that. You know, that's Jupiter. So what can happen sometimes though with a square is an aspect that's a challenge. So it could be that there's a challenge for some of us with this eclipse to, not just have blind faith in things and to really look them over first, or to see opportunity instead of seeing like things in a regular way. Like you can see Jupiterian people, if you know Jupiter rule people and Sagittarius people, it's like people will say, why are they so lucky? Well, the thing is, this is what I get from them. I'm not one of them, but I ask them a lot of questions because I'm like, how can I get like you? Okay, how can I get like what you're getting in life? Okay, so what they tell me is they always see opportunity in everything. Like where the rest of us will just be looking around and like the landscape we're looking around, it just looks like, oh well, it's just boring, it's plain, there's nothing here. No, a Jupiterian person will look around and they'll be like, oh look, I see this thing that I have an opportunity to do something with. Oh, and there's an opportunity there. There's an opportunity there. And I'm like, remember they're the archer, right? So like I'm gonna shoot my arrow over there. I'm also going to shoot it over there, and I'm going to shoot it over there, and I'm just going to see what happens. I have at least one of my arrows have to stick Okay. So they really do that a lot. So this could be a challenge to us to like see opportunity in places where we don't normally look for it, you know? But also, once again, Jupiter can deal with overdoing things, overdoing, having just doing too much, doing the most, as they say nowadays, doing the most can be Jupiter. So that is one of the challenges that come along with this eclipse too. So wherever Scorpio is in your chart, that's where it can come to you. So shall we go through every sign? I think we shall. Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat too while I take a little sip. Poetic Dime says, yes, my Sag homie was just going in about going out for your opportunities. Totally. Listen to them. Listen to them. Saturn is making me work for my luck, says Hey Rahul. Oh, hey Rahul. Hey Rahul. Saturn's making you work for your luck. Yeah, I'm sure he is with being in Capricorn. I'm really sure. Okay. You say that with everyone with Jupiter in their lives. Interesting. Okay, so now let's go through every sign with this eclipse. In Aquarius, where is it affecting you? So with Aries people, it's in your 11th house. So everything that we speak about to do with Aquarius eclipses, it should, with the general side of it, it does apply to you because Aquarius is your 11th house. So for some Aries people, you guys are really great candidates for being those, the ones that start like a new website or start a new project that has to do with social media, with networking, with technology, and all of that good stuff. Also, some Aries people, if you don't have any type of career to where you have to apply yourself utilizing any of that stuff, it could just be your friends. Like you clear out your old friends, you know, you can be one of those candidates too for people that just, they clear out their social media. They, hold on. They clear out their social media. They delete it. They, like delete a lot of people off of their social media and, you know, stuff like that for Aries people on like just a more mundane level. But yes, embarking on something new, maybe just like, maybe Aries, because you guys have Saturn in your 10th house, right? Saturn isn't aspecting the eclipse or anything. I'm just like getting the picture in my head of your chart for Aries. So you guys have Saturn in your 10th house right now, Aries, telling you to like really work hard and stuff. And maybe it could benefit you by associating yourself with a new type group of people, like an association or something at your work with your job. Like maybe you guys can like start to get to know some people. And I'm not one to promote brown nosing and like butt kissing and all that stuff, but you can, to an extent, get to know people and network with them to be able to help you advance within your career somehow, some way. Because I had this conversation the other day with one of my friends. I caught up with her after a while of not really speaking very much. And the last time I talked to her, she was having trouble in career. She wanted me to look at her chart. And I asked her, well, have you considered this or that or whatever? And we kind of did like a little follow-up. I'm like, how's work going? And she's like, well, you know what? I'm applying at places, but it seems to me like it's who you know that really gets you these jobs. It's who you know, not what you know and your background and all this. It's who you know. So Aries, if you guys want to get ahead in career, maybe you can start looking into who you know. Who do you surround yourself with? You know what I mean? Like in the work environment or in your career or whatever, in your industry, get to know some new people with this eclipse, you know, and that can maybe help to boost your career a little bit. Once again, I'm not saying be a brown noser, be a social climber, none of that stuff. But no, genuinely, like get to know some people who you feel are successful and at the level of success that you want to be at. And you know what they say? You know how they say look at your circle, look at your closest circle of friends, look at like your 5 closest friends, look at their personality, their lifestyle, how they live, how they act. And that's a reflection of you. And so Aries people, you guys may want to take a look at that. And if you are trying to be a successful person in life, but then you've got all these friends around you that they live a different lifestyle that you don't consider successful. I'm not going to like list examples because some people may be offended, like, hey, that's me. You don't think I'm successful? No, like they live a lifestyle that your perception of it is not where you want to be. It doesn't match with you. Maybe you need to start looking into other people to hang out with, you know? If you're an entrepreneur, find other entrepreneurs to hang out with. I've noticed that does make people a lot more successful. I have a friend who is an Aquarius moon, and I really follow his example. He's in a totally different industry than I am, but I noticed what he does to be successful is a lot of Aquarius things, 11th house things, is he networks with other entrepreneurs that are in the same industry that he is. He goes to their businesses, to their establishments, takes pictures there, puts them on social media to promote them. And they in return do the same thing. They all show love for each other and they all grow that way. And anytime he goes to any of these places, he's in the food industry. So when he goes to these places and posts pictures on Instagram, guess what? Myself and other people, they say, oh, if he's following them, if he says it's good, it might be good. So let me follow this business. Let me stop in there. And I actually stopped into one of those places yesterday. That this friend of mine who's an entrepreneur, had been like promoting and stuff. And I'm like, well, if he's promoting it, it may be good. Let me check it out. And it was good. It was a good business and it's brand new. So with that being said, Aries, try to maybe network with some new people for the sake of success. But also David is mentioning something very important. He's talking about which friends are truly loyal. That's another thing with 11th house energy. If you're not a business person, Aries, you're just a regular old Aries that just, you know, you work a regular job, you just do regular life stuff, right? This is another thing that you're going to look at is who is loyal, who is a real friend, who's a real colleague versus who is like somebody you kind of know, they're an acquaintance, you network with them, you go, you see them out, oh, hey, what's up, hi, you shake hands, oh yeah, blah, 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 and then you run away. Like who, you need to know the difference between the two, you know what I mean? So this eclipse may bring that to you, Aries people, to help you to distinguish between, like that person asked, I think David asked, like who's loyal, who's a real friend, and who's just like an acquaintance, you know? So that's it for Aries. Ooh, that was huge. I need to take a sip. Yeah, I hear you, Outback Jacks. So next up is Taurus, Taurus sun, moon, or rising. The eclipse in Aquarius happening on the 15th of February. How's it affecting you guys? So this is happening for you guys in your 10th house of career. Ooh, Tauruses. Okay. So something really popping off, something really changing in regards to career for Taurus people. So you may notice, if it's not you, Taurus, you may notice some of your colleagues and everybody else that you guys are watching too. You guys may, there goes my pen. You guys may notice that around this eclipse, you'll have people making announcements. I'm starting a new thing. I'm starting a new this. I'm starting a new that. I am leaving this job. Guess what, everybody? I'm leaving my title here and I'm going to this other company and I have a new title, okay? Tauruses, you guys may be some of those people and I'm really rooting for you. Not just because I'm a Taurus too, but because I really love seeing those announcements from others. You know, I'm leaving one opportunity and I've outgrown it. Now I'm going to this brand new thing that's like huge, right? It's what I've always wanted. I saw somebody post out there, I've got the job I always wanted. So they're probably a Taurus somewhere. But Taurus is, yes, if you really want to change your career, you really want to change your title to something that's more authentic to you, this eclipse is definitely bringing it. If it hasn't brought it already, it's bringing it now. You know what I mean? So Taurus is, if you have your own business, maybe you could be doing something like rebranding your business. You know what I'm saying? Rebranding, restructuring, implementing some new things into your business. If you work at a regular job, you could be getting a promotion for some Taurus people. You can be leaving a job because Uranus is a factor here. And Uranus is a planet of like sudden, unexpected things changing, you know? And some of you guys could be just feeling it where you're like, gonna have one of those days with the eclipse where you're like, you know what, I'm out of here, I can't, and you'll leave, and it might be scary, but remember the aspect to Jupiter, it's a square, which is difficult and stuff like that, but Jupiter is about opportunity, so maybe you can have a new opportunity come to you even if you have to leave a job, even if it means some of you guys getting fired from a job. You know, if you get fired from a job around the eclipse, just know there could be opportunities that come up for something new that's more fitting for you, Taurus, okay? So it's really all about career for Taurus people. So you really have to, you know, look around, think about what you're doing for a living. If you're a Taurus that doesn't have a career, you don't work, any of that stuff, well, it could be something based around your position of authority in your world, you know, like even like as a parent, as like a head of the household or head of the family, something could change with you there if you are a parent, or with your parents too. There could be like your relationship with your parents or authority figures could change with the eclipse. So yeah, but for you career-oriented Tauruses, I'm really rooting for you. Hopefully it's something good for you guys. So next up is Gemini. Gemini sun, moon, or rising. How is the eclipse on February 15th affecting you guys? This is going to be in your 9th house. So Geminis, you guys, some Geminis could be going back to school. Some of you guys could be going back to school or starting school, starting college, starting any type of schooling. I know there's people of all ages that watch. So any type of schooling, furthering your education, yes, but in a huge way. Or some of you Geminis may be completing school, okay? New moons are about new beginnings, but a completion of something can happen in order to welcome in a new beginning. So for some of you guys, it's in regards to your education. For some Geminis, it could be something based around, because the 9th house is opportunities, which we've been talking about this whole broadcast, okay? So for some of you guys, it could be a new opportunity in life in general to really broaden your horizons. That can mean anything. That can mean job, career, relationship, just where you live, maybe migrating to a new country for some Geminis, because the 9th house does rule foreign lands, other countries, other cultures. So some of you guys could be moving somewhere that's abroad or far away. Some Geminis, you guys could be traveling, but it's like a really big trip, like something that's totally different, a place you've never been to before, or it's a trip that's like, it's really meaningful. It's not just, oh, I'm just going on vacation for the weekend. Okay, then I'm coming back and then going back to life. No, like a journey. Journeys are seen through the 9th house sometimes. So it could be a journey that you're going to go on. And as a result of it, you really have an experience that changes your life. You have a different outlook on life. You know, you might go to another country, for an example, and see their way of living, and really put things in perspective and see the big picture of life with how you live and where your country, you know, how your country operates in your society. And then like, whoa, you know, like it's just mind-blowing stuff. So some Geminis may do some stuff like that. That's mostly what it is for Geminis. And also just the ability to see opportunity. You may have some changes there with an eclipse in your 9th house. So look out for them. Be like, where you at, opportunity? Where you at? I'm looking for you. All right. So next up is Cancer, sun, moon, or rising. How is this eclipse in Aquarius on February 15th affecting you guys? So this is in your 8th house. Ooh, okay. So an eclipse in your 8th house. Hold on. I'm just messing with you guys, Cancers, with my googly eyes. It's not really all that scary. So an eclipse in your 8th house, Cancers, this can be something really big for some of you guys when it comes to if you are partnered with someone and you guys share your finances together, maybe their financial situation can change, or your joint financial situation can change. So maybe one or both of you could get a new job, could get a new job opportunity. Maybe you guys decide finally to join forces, Cancer. If you've been dating with somebody, you can decide to finally say, you know what, we're going to get a joint bank account, or we're going to try this thing out with like doing our finances together, you know? So it could be something based around that. It could be that some of you guys have been waiting for like a big settlement or a big tax return even. The 8th house of taxes. Hey, some of you Cancers, you know, around this time, you can see like an even bigger and better tax return than before, or just something different and changing with taxes. Some of you guys could be waiting on like, yeah, like a settlement, a lawsuit, a loan. Maybe you guys can really get a loan, But see, a lot of times the 8th house can mean that, but since this is an eclipse, it's bigger. It could be for something bigger. Maybe you need a loan for a home or a loan to start a business, Cancer. So an eclipse can show when you would have an opportunity to do that, or it's more likely for that to happen during that time period. Also, the 8th house is intimacy, so some of you guys can have a new chapter begin in regards to intimacy. Maybe some of you guys could have like, maybe the intimacy has been dull. You know, maybe Saturn is like putting a strain on your relationship for Cancers because it's in your 7th house of relationships. So maybe Saturn is making you guys a little more serious with your relationship. You've got like all these hurdles to go over lately. So intimacy is just like dry and boring and dead. Well, an eclipse in your 8th house can be like, you know what? We need to start over again with intimacy. We need to start fresh. We need to get that spark back that Uranus brings. It just zaps you. You know what I'm saying? To where you're like, whoa, hey, who is this? What is this? Like, this is new and exciting. Like that feeling back with your partnership. Maybe you need to get that back. So maybe you guys can, you know, work on that after this eclipse. It may be that like you guys come to a final thing where you're like, you know what? We need to talk about this right now, this intimacy thing, you know? So it could be based around that, or it could be based around like something financial that changes for Cancer. So good luck to you guys. So next up is Leo, Sun, Moon, or Rising. How is the eclipse in Aquarius on February 15th affecting you guys? So this is going to be for Leos in your 7th house of relationships. So Leo, some of you guys may have some new beginnings with relationships. Some of you guys may be changing your relationship status, getting married, divorced, engaged, separated, like, oh, finally we are committed, we're going steady and stuff like that. If anybody even says that anymore. We're going steady and I got a promise ring. Stuff like that for Leo people. So Leo, this could be even some breakups. You know, just being honest, some breakups can come with eclipses, but if they do, just know that there's something better on the horizon. Or maybe it's something that needed to happen in order for you and your partner to have a new chapter in your lives, to see things from a different perspective. Maybe separate for a little bit, look at life from a different point of view, and then come back together. You know, sometimes it can bring stuff like that. An eclipse in your 7th house for Leo people. So this could be some of you guys actually, yeah, getting engaged, getting married, having your status change. It could also be like, because I had somebody write to me recently and they said, oh, I had an eclipse happen in a significant area for me and I thought it would bring me a relationship, but it didn't bring me anything. Maybe the universe doesn't like me or something like that. And I'm just like, oh, no, that's not true. Like first of all, we have to see your whole chart. Second of all, a lot of times these phenomenal, huge events, celestial events can just bring something that's internal to you. You know, it could just bring something that's like an aha moment, a light bulb moment within yourself. So maybe for Leos, with it being relationships, it could be like, wow, I'm realizing now, maybe because you got a relationship reading from somebody on astrologer.com to put things into perspective and stuff. Maybe I'm realizing now the way that I behave in relationships, something needs to change. Maybe the partners that I've been choosing in the past, maybe that needs to change. And in return, it can bring me a newness when it comes to how I handle relationships, the type of relationships that I'm bringing into my life, you know? So it could be just an internal realization about something or about someone or patterns in relationships. So it's really just all about that. Or, you know, if you're not concerned with love or anything like that, Leo, it could be something to do with business or collaborating with somebody, a brand new collaboration with somebody on a project can happen, you know? So those are the things it can bring up. And with the square to Jupiter that's hanging out in your career, well, no, it's hanging out in your house of home and family for Leos, my bad. It could be that maybe like your relationship status changes, right, Leo? But then like your family doesn't really agree with it. You know, they're like challenging you. Like, you're like, oh, look, guess what? I got engaged, family. And they're just like, to who? To that loser? Like, what are you doing? We don't agree with that. And you're just like, oh, whatever. But you may have to learn something from that Jupiter square. You never know. But yeah, for Leo, it's really about relationships that are going to change in a big way with this eclipse. So good luck to you guys. So next up is Virgo, Sun, Moon, or Rising. How is the eclipse in Leo? I'm sorry, in Aquarius on the 15th of February affecting you guys? Hold on, let me take a sip before I start losing my voice now. Okay, so for Virgo, this is happening. This is happening in your 6th house. Oh my gosh, that's a Virgo house. So for Virgos, this is Virgo stuff that's happening, that's changing. So what that means is what Virgo rules, what the 6th house rule are your day-to-day job duties, everyday jobs, routines, all that stuff that happens, and your health, taking care of your health and everything like that. So yeah, for Virgo people, some of you guys may also be getting a different job. All the earth signs, your career and money and work houses are being affected. So Virgo, for you, it is the work that you do. And I know a lot of Virgo people, and I have a dash of Virgo in my chart, kind of. I have 6th house energy. So I know how Virgo can get caught up in the hamster wheel. That's what I call the 6th house, the hamster wheel. You get in, you're going every day, you're doing the same thing over and over and again. And it's like the same routine every day, the same order that you do things in every day. And after a while, it can get tiring. It can get exhausting. It can get boring. It can get repetitive, redundant, to where even Virgos who are really good with having a routine, you guys thrive on routine, you feel things are stagnant, like the wheel isn't moving, the hamster wheel is not moving, and you're like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna have to step out of here and look around for a new hamster wheel to hop in, aka maybe a new job. Maybe a new job for some Virgos. You guys may be one of those signs that around the eclipse, you're just like throwing your papers in the air. I quit. I can't do this anymore. I can't do this job. You know, these people here drive me crazy. Virgos always have the best work stories. I'm telling you, the best customer stories. Oh, about crazy customers. That's all Virgo, right? So Virgos are going to be like, you know what? I can't stand my coworkers because they blah, 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 blah. My boss does this. The printer never works. These customers drive me crazy. I got to get out of here. I got to get a new job. So some of you guys, you may have an experience like that, or it could be a more pleasant departure from a job. You know, maybe it could be a promotion, or you found a new position somewhere in a pleasant way, and you're like, it's an opportunity and I'm going to go for it. So bye, y'all. You know, it could be that for Virgo people. For Virgo, it could be also with your health. You discover something new that's like a new way to maintain your health, good health, you know. Or some of you guys may actually get a diagnosis for something, maybe something's been bothering you, Virgo, and you go to the doctor and they finally let you know what's been bothering you, and you guys can come up with a plan to fix it, to adjust it, to take care of it, and have a new routine, which is the 6th house, to maintain or get rid of, you know what I'm saying, whatever health ailment may be coming about for you guys. So yeah, so that's for Virgo people. So you want to move out of the area, find a new home. Yeah, good luck, David. Keisha B says, Virgo rising, and I definitely want a job change. Yes, this eclipse can bring that to you. It's a wonderful time to embark upon new job opportunities, Keisha. So best of luck to you. So next up is Libra, Sun, Moon, or Rising. How is the eclipse on the 15th of February affecting you guys with it being in Aquarius? So for Libra, this is your 5th house. Oh my gosh, Libras. I'm sure you guys absolutely love the 5th house because Libras love love. Libras love creativity, and that's some of the things that the 5th house rules. So for some of you Libras, you may start a new hobby or start a business based on a hobby. It's also creative talents that you have, talents, hobbies, all that stuff. So some of you guys may start a business and really work on turning it into something real. You know, it's not just like, oh, I'm really good at making jewelry or beading things, or, you know, a sport or whatever. You actually turn it into a venture to make, you know, as a business venture, right? Because it's squaring Jupiter, which is in your 2nd house of earned income, but there could be a challenge of like, listen, Libra, you have a talent here. Why don't you believe, which is Jupiter, that you can actually make money off of it, which is the 2nd house, you know? So that could be for some Libras. For some of you guys, it could be that you find a new hobby or you find a new thing that makes your heart happy, okay? Because the 5th house rules that. What makes your heart happy? Like when you go somewhere and What makes you like take in a deep breath with happiness and exhale and get giddy? What gets you giddy? That's the 5th house. So how can you get more of that into your life? You know, for some of you guys, this is a house of fertility and creation of children. So Libra people, if you are wanting for that to happen in your life, this eclipse can bring it, okay? It can bring the children, all right? So some of you guys may be announcing pregnancies or births for Libra people. And for some of you guys, it may mean a new boo, a new boo, a new bae, a new, what's the word now? Those are the only words of today that I know to mean a new relationship, new boo thing, a new relationship partner, a new boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, you know, or a new beginning with an existing relationship that really helps you to bring the romance back in your life. So bring some fun back in your life. Have fun with your partner, you know, get out and do some childlike things with them. Maybe you're going to let them know that you need more of that. The 5th house is like when you first start dating somebody, it's that feeling of feeling so excited, like you don't know what to expect. You don't know what to happen. You go out with them and you're like, oh my gosh, like you're anticipating the date. That's the 5th house. If you're in a relationship and it's lost that spark and you need it back, this eclipse may tell you how you can bring it back, show you how to bring it back, bring it to the attention of your partner with a megaphone, like, hello, the spark is gone. Like, what are we going to do to like spark things up again? Okay. So that's for Libra. So next up is for Scorpio. Scorpio, sun, moon, or rising. How is the eclipse in Aquarius affecting you guys? February 15th, 2018. So this is happening in your 4th house of home and family life. OMG, I'm a Scorpio rising. This is right near my IC, and you guys know I don't need any more crazy stuff happening in my family. So fingers crossed that it's nothing crazy. But let's look to the positive. So for some of you guys who are Scorpios, this could mean that you guys could be moving. Some Scorpios could be moving with this in your 4th house. So hopefully it's through good circumstances and nothing like crazy or unexpected or like, oh, but even if it is unexpected, maybe it could be an awesome new place that you move into. Case in point, I'm a Scorpio rising. I'm a Scorpio like you guys. And I've already had this happen, but I did have to move suddenly and unexpectedly. And you know, we can see the effects of the eclipses sometimes maybe a month before, right? So that's exactly what happened. A month before this eclipse, I did have to move suddenly and unexpectedly. I hated that suddenly part, but the place we moved to is gorgeous. I am growing to love it, right? So for some of you Scorpios, you could experience a similar thing, moving to a new place. Some of you guys could be, and it could be because like a job changes or something involving like a job change for some Scorpios, because Uranus is hanging out in your 6th house of work and it's making an aspect. And the challenge could be, you know, to see the opportunity for growth with this change within your family, whether it's moving or whether it's something else, a different type of family change, because you have the square to Jupiter in your 1st house, okay? Or maybe some of you guys want to go to school or something, but you're gonna have to move for that. Or maybe you want to really go on a new journey in life, which is Jupiter and Scorpio, but then it's making a square to this eclipse. So it's like, well, what about your family? Or what about like, you know, do you really want to move to this new foreign place, or, you know, something like that? Like you're going to be challenged with that and ask yourself some questions and try to make some adjustments. You know what I mean? So recruiter Baku says, my brother is Scorpio and he's expecting to hear from a job abroad. Yay! Thus find last year we decided to move from Alaska to South Carolina. Yes, because this is not the only Aquarius eclipse, all right? We had an eclipse here last year in Aquarius. We had one in the summer in August 2017. So this is a follow-up to that. So it could be that whatever that eclipse brought to you 6 months ago, this is like a follow-up. This is a completion. This is a brand new, because I think that was a full moon. That was a full moon in Aquarius last year in the summer. And then now it's a new moon. So if something came to a head during that time, then now there could be like a new beginning that's cultivated, you know, with whatever it brought to you last year. So yeah, maybe just a new beginning in your family, Scorpio. Just a new chapter within your family. Like maybe you guys need to refresh with your relationships within the family. Maybe some of you guys could be bringing new people into your family. This is not necessarily an eclipse of pregnancy and childbirth, but newness within the family and the home. So it could be, some of you Scorpios could be maybe having children or adopting them, or like family members coming in to live with you, or family members moving out, or you living with family or moving out of family's houses, or something like that, something along those lines. Yes, Keisha B says working on a better routine at home, family, and school. Yes, thanks for validating. Little baby 245 says my friend is a Scorpio sun, and she just recently moved from NYC to Miami and quit her job. Yes, that definitely spells out the planetary activity. Interesting. Amina says new location, home, and job out of my state. Wow. I love how you guys are validating all this stuff for everybody. So your fellow signs can see like how it's playing out so far for everybody to see what they can look forward to. So good luck, Scorpios. Good luck. So next up is Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising. And I'm almost done. So you guys let me know if you have any celebrity couples that you would like me to look at their synastry really quick at the very end. I've got like 20 minutes left to spare. So 25 minutes left to spare. So let me know, celebrity couple, who can we look at for Valentine's Day? Okay, who are you guys curious about? All right, so Sagittarius. How's the eclipse in Aquarius affecting you guys? Well, this is happening in your third house. And third house, Sagittarius is a sign that really loves to be out and about and adventurous and, going different places, moving around and all that stuff. And the third house is doing that, but it's more like doing that around a familiar area rather than like an unfamiliar foreign area. So maybe you guys are going to be asked to kind of, maybe stay situated, like get to know the area around you, the neighborhood around you, the city around you a little bit more instead of always leaving and going. I'm telling you, my Sag friends, they're never home. They're never home. Never home. Like I went on Snapchat yesterday, and one of my favorite Sagittarian friends, I was like, oh, I'm curious about her. What's she up to? Is she posting on Snapchat? Of course, she's like somewhere far away. It looked like there was a pyramid in the background and some palm trees. I'm like, girl, that could be a few different places in the world. Where are you? Where are you this time, Miss Sagittarius? But some of you guys with an eclipse in your third house, it could be asking you, to like, what can you do to be adventurous within your own city? Like, where can you go? What can you explore? Also, the third house can mean the way in which you travel could change, especially local travel. So new car for some Sagittarians, new car you may get within the next several months if you haven't already. So some of you guys could be, maybe there's a new beginning in the life of your siblings or cousins or uncles, or with your relationships with those people too, with this eclipse. What else? Some of you guys may be going back to school too, but and learning some new skills, but not like major university school. It's more like, oh, let me take a few classes, get certified in this, or stuff like that. So yeah. All right. So for Sagittarius, it could be about local travel. It could be about learning and stuff. It could be new vehicle, it could be siblings, cousins, relationship with different family members, definitely could change for you guys. So before I get to Capricorn, let's see, there's a few questions here. Somebody's asking about Beyonce and Jay-Z. Oh, okay. I don't think I've ever looked at their relationship. And if I did, I don't recall, so I could look at them. Kylie and I did look at Kylie Jenner and Travis Scott. I believe I did go over their relationship before. No, I went over her sister, I went over her sister. What's her name? Chloe and her guy. Okay, I'll consider it. Okay, how long is the eclipse effective? Well, it's like some say like, a few months, and some astrology says up to 6 months. But the reason why we may say up to 6 months is because usually there's another eclipse 6 months later in the same sign. And so the effects can last up until the next eclipse in that sign or the opposite sign. So yeah. Amara says, Sag rising and I'm getting a new car very soon. Yes. Diddy and Cassie, you know what, Elizabeth? I've never looked at their synastry. I never have. That would be an interesting one. That would really be interesting, because there's a couple people that some of you guys mentioned, and I'm like, oh, I think I've done them before. I think I've done them before. And I'm very Uranian. I'm about like, let's do something new, you know? So that would be a good one. P. Diddy and Cassie. So I'll consider them. Okay, so next up is Capricorn. Capricorn, sun, moon, or rising sign. How is the eclipse affecting you on the 15th of February? The Aquarius eclipse. Well, this is happening for you guys in your second house. Cappies, oh my goodness. So Capricorn, you are an earth sign, and this is all about your money, your resources, your self-worth, your value, what you value, your material world, all of that stuff. So for Capricorn, some of you guys, you like your other fellow earth signs, you may be getting a different job, hopefully a higher paying job with more money that you deserve because your value is that high. You know what? I have been talking to my Capricorn rising husband this whole last week. I've been asking him, what are you going to do? You need to get letters of recommendation from your company. You need to get that resume. Come on, let's get that resume like jazzed up and updated. Like, come on. And he's like, well, I don't know. That's his Cancer side. I don't know. And I'm like, no, you need to tap into that Capricorn, okay? And see yourself as a very talented, successful person who your value and worth, which is second house, is so much more than what you're getting like compensated for. You know what I'm saying? So some other Capricorns, you guys may be going through that too, and seeing your worth and your value more with what you do for a living. But also, oh, Alma says, I'm a Capricorn. Last Friday, you answered my question about why astrologers always talk about career and talking about Cappies. Tell me why. Okay, tell me why I lost my job yesterday. Houseway. I love that, Alma. Okay, listen. For some Capricorns, it could be a new job, but it could be with the eclipses can bring the loss of a job. I'm not going to sugarcoat you guys. It can be, but you have to see the bigger picture. It's not just to punish you. It's not the universe wants to punish you and you're a bad person. You have to look at it. Look at that job. Look back at it. Is it really something that you wanted to do so badly? Does it really resonate with you to the core? And Capricorns, a lot of them do associate their job and their title with themselves to the core. You know, like, hi, my name is so-and-so and I blah, 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 blah. I'm a blah, 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 blah. Like a lot of Capricorns are very like, it makes them sit more proud and tall to say something like that, to introduce themselves like that. So if you have a loss of a job and you're a Capricorn, you have to look at, there's an aspect to Jupiter here, okay? There's an aspect to Jupiter in your 11th house of networking. So maybe you need to be around different people. Maybe you need to be in a new environment, network with different people. Be around people who, like I said earlier, for Aries, are more of your perception of success and where you want to be in life. Maybe you just need to be in a different job around a different environment too, networking with new people. Just think of it as like the universe is closing the door on that because there's something else better waiting for you. There has to be. Just if you think of it in that perspective, then you'll go into like looking for a new job with that type of mentality that there's something better for me out there. I'm worth a lot, which is the second house. So therefore, let me jazz up that resume, get those letters of recommendation, put them out there, okay? So whatever situation you're in, Cabby, whether you have a job or you don't have a job or whatever, whether you want more money or you just want to be appreciated for like the value of the work that you do, the quality of work you do, then this is definitely an eclipse that can change something like that. Also, just on a more general level, looking around at wants versus needs, looking around your environment, like in your house, and like the utilization of your resources, like your electricity, your water, your internet, cable, whatever you have, the phone bill, like looking at that stuff. Like I said, my husband's a Capricorn rising and he's been bugging me about that stuff this week. Like, oh, look at our phone bill, it's huge and maybe we can eliminate this or that, or, oh my gosh, you know, like he's been really on me about that. But see, I'm a fellow earth sign, so I can dig it. I'm like, this is my element. So yes, let's look around. What can we reduce down the cost of? What are we spending money on that's a want versus a need? How can we balance out, you know, what we're spending money on as far as like the needs of the household versus let's get out and live a little, you know, what are we doing too much of or too little of? So it can be looking at that stuff too, Capricorn, but like in a more bigger way, because the eclipse, it does bring like a more bigger perspective on things and a bigger life change. So, woo, yes, that's for Capricorn. Best of luck to you guys. All right, all right. Tony Braxton and you know what? I've been wondering about Tony Braxton and Birdman. Oh my gosh, because I'm like, how? Like Alma said, how Sway? How did they get together? And a lot of people ask that. I saw an interview with Tony Braxton recently, and the interviewer asked her, how? How did this happen? I'm very curious to know, and I've never looked at their synastry. So maybe because I have to do this on the fly because I'm more familiar with that couple, maybe I'll look at them this time. So anyhow, Aquarius, how is the eclipse in Aquarius affecting my Aquarius sun, moon, or rising people on the 15th of February, 2018? Well, hey, this is your eclipse. It's your sign. What you want to do. What do you want to do with your life, Aquarius? What do you want to change? What do you want? Who do you want to lead? Aquariuses are going to be another sign that's going to just start cutting people off, because this eclipse is about them. It's about them being their best selves, living their best life, as we say. So how can you live your best life, Aquarius? What do you have? What do you want? What do you want to do? So you are the number one sign that should really be putting those intentions out there to the universe, like about what you want to manifest, you know, speaking it into existence, writing it down, like all that stuff, Aquarius. Like you guys, if you want it, you can achieve it. Trust me. There is a square to Jupiter, which is in your house of career. So if it is something career related and opportunity related, you will be challenged there. But a challenge doesn't mean, oh, gloom and doom, I can never get this new job, I can never get the career I want. No, it's challenge, and you have to be up for it. You have to see the opportunity, you know? I'm wondering if my lipstick is like weird and like coming off and stuff. Like, I don't know why it just looks weird when I look at myself on the screen. Sorry, Aquarius. You guys are the sign of weird, so you get it. But anyway, so Aquarius is there. You will be challenged with your ability to see opportunity, or maybe like you really thought something was going to work out for you, but maybe you didn't look at it in a logical enough way, or look at all the details. And you'll be challenged with looking at it, okay? And to see where's my next opportunity? Where is it? You know, for me to be my best self, for me to be proud of who I am and be able to just announce like, my name is Aquarius and I am blah, 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 blah. Like, where is that? Where? So it's going to challenge you to look for that in life. But also, just on a more general level, some Aquariuses, if you want to change anything in regards to your appearance, the first impression that people get of you when they meet you, whether that's your attitude, your looks, anything, this is an eclipse where you're going to be really looking at that. It's like you're really going to have to look in the mirror in like a hard way, you know, and see what you exude out there, and like, what do you not like about it? What are you getting like a negative response from others about, and how can you change it? What can you do? So it's all about you, Aquarius. This eclipse is all about you. So whatever you want to change it, go for it. All right. So last but not least is Pisces. And then I've got like 10 minutes to look at a celebrity couple chart really fast and tell you guys what I see. So Pisces, sun, moon, or rising, how is this eclipse in Aquarius affecting you guys? This is in your 12th house. This is the Pisces house. This is Pisces stuff. What do you guys rule? You guys rule the subconscious, dreams. You guys rule some artistic talents, in a sense, like the ones that you just seem to channel out of nowhere. You know what I mean? Like they just come to you, the creative abilities. And notice I'm doing, this is what Prince used to do this, right? Prince is a Pisces moon, right? So anyway, you're channeling like the abilities that you channel and your intuition and all that. You're going to be working on that. Something will change with that. You are going to have changes in the 12th house, which also rules, yeah, your connection to the spirit world. You may receive, oh my gosh, Pisces, you guys are one of the number one signs that you need to pay attention to your dreams around this eclipse, okay? You need to pay attention to them, because you can receive very important messages from the other realm. whoever, whatever you believe in the other realm, you can receive lots of messages of support, you know, support, or maybe even warnings of like, hey, Pisces, don't go there. Don't do that. Woo. Just kidding. No, but seriously, you can receive some very important messages from ancestors, from angels, spirit guides, people like that. And also Pisces, you know, this has to do with some of you guys, your escapist tendencies. You may be challenged with them, and your ability to face reality is also like the 12th house kind of can deal with stuff like that. Also, anything to do with your karmic past, Pisces, any karma that you have to let go of from the past to begin a new cycle in your life. Overall, you may have some of those things come up and have to face them, have to deal with them, and that could be a challenge presented to you. But you really have to look at it from a big picture perspective. I spoke to a Pisces rising yesterday, because there is, you know, another person in their life that I know as well that always says, well, Pisces rising, you know, for some reason it feels like they're holding a grudge against me, and it's probably something from way back in the past, but I really want forgiveness from them. And the 12th house can deal with forgiveness too. So I kind of have to serve as a mediator, you know, and talk to them. And I asked the Pisces rising person, like, what is it about that? Why are you not like allowing yourself to have a good relationship with this other person? And they said, there's some things that I have to work on within myself internally first before I can work on a relationship with another person. And I was like, dun, dun, dun. Talk about eclipse in the 12th house. Hello. So yes, some of you Pisces may be working on some things internally that can indeed help you to be able to engage in relationships with others, because that's the subconscious mind, is the 12th house. So there could be a sense of letting go for some of you guys to allow yourselves new beginnings in any area, any aspect of life. And how well you take time out for yourself could also come up with this eclipse. And yes, if you have any escapist tendencies, you will be challenged on those, okay? And you know what they are, Pisces, if you're listening. So yeah. So that was it for my forecast for the week. If you're tuning out because you don't care about celebrities, well, peace. And I hope to see you next week. And I hope you have a wonderful week. And best of luck to you with this eclipse. And also don't forget to hit me up for a reading if you would like my special on love and relationships, or my specials on your karmic readings that have to do with your past life and this life. Go to astrolada.com, my readers page. It will be in the description box. And I hope to read for you guys soon. So, all right, I've got like 5 minutes. I got like 5 minutes before I have to run around and pick up a bunch of children. So let me pull up the astrology charts. I'm going to do Toni Braxton and Birdman. Okay, for those who don't know who Birdman is, I know that is such a goofy ass name, right? Birdman, right? For those who are not like into that kind of music. He is a rapper. He is from New Orleans, and he is, I think he's like a CEO or an owner of Cash Money Records. And they had Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne is a very popular rapper, and he belongs to that label. And Young Money and stuff, I think they're affiliated. And also, I think Nicki Minaj was on there, affiliated. Drake. I've been a little out of the loop, so correct me if I'm wrong, you guys, but he is a producer and like a record producer or something like that. But he's an interesting looking fella. Okay. So and Toni Braxton, she's a singer, right? She's a singer. She's very she seems like mellow and laid back and feminine, you know what I'm saying? So so they're like an odd match, and people are asking. Oh, he also goes by Baby. That's his rapper name, Baby, Birdman, all kinds of goofy stuff, right? Okay, but his name is Brian. His name is Brian. Okay, let me look at his chart. What chart is? What website is this? Okay, let me see. They don't have his birth time. Okay, so we don't have his birth time. We don't have Baby's birth time. All right. Let's see. Birdman. Okay. Well. Okay, I'll just use this website. Okay, Toni Braxton, her family is very, very famous. Her sisters are famous too. They are a family that performs sometimes together. The Braxton sisters, they all sing. But Toni is the one that made has had the most popularity. And let's see, Astro. Okay, her sister Tamar is the second one that has had more like fame and notoriety and stuff like that. But Toni Braxton, yeah, she's got a smooth voice, you know, she sings, she's very like sultry and everything, and she's very Libra. She's a Libra sun, and she's like very feminine, like I said. And then for her to end up with Birdman, it's like he's kind of rough. He seems a little rough around the edges, right? So an unlikely couple. But let's check out their synastry really quick. Let's see. So I may not get like super deep and detailed into it because I do only have a few minutes. But let's just look at some important points in their charts, okay? So let me screen share with you guys really quick. And let's see what the relationship is between, like, what's the tea, like they say nowadays? What's the tea with Toni Braxton and Mr. Birdman? Okay, why are they together? Like, what happened? Toni Braxton, she used to date I think she dated, no, not the lead singer, but one of the guys in the group, Mint Condition. Mint Condition is an R&B group, very smooth R&B, right? So it's like, that seemed like more of a match. You know what I mean? But we'd have to look at their synastry. Synastry matters. Okay, so here we go. Toni Braxton. Let's see. Let's look at her. She has Mars in Sagittarius, so she's very attracted to Sagittarian men. So she excuse me, she's a Libra sun, and so she's very Libra, but she has Venus in Virgo. So Venus in Virgo could be kind of picky in love, and I think I've watched a little bit of their reality show, and I think she was kind of picky when she was in love too. And she has Mercury in Scorpio, which is why she's private. She tends to be private about a lot of stuff, and she always says that. I like to keep a lot of my private life private. So I think they've kept it under like under wraps that they were a couple, you know, because of her Mercury in Scorpio. So she likes Sagittarian men. Let me see her. Let's see, Jupiter. Mars. Mars. Oh, Mars square Pluto. Ooh, Mars square Pluto and Uranus. She needs to really be careful with attracting men who exude the negative energies of these two planets, especially Pluto, because Mars square Pluto, it could be a common factor for people who attract abusers, and people who are like power struggles with men can happen with this placement too. Yeah, and also Mars square Uranus, she can sometimes attract men who are a little quirky and different, but they can have tendencies to just like bounce out and leave out of nowhere. She has Juno, the marriage asteroid, in the sign of Libra, so she does like a man to have some gentlemanly, smooth parts of their personality. And she did say in the interview that I watched that Birdman is a gentleman. So he's got that gentleman stuff, and he's also got a little bit of ruggedness to him, all right? So let's look at Birdman real quick. Or Baby, or Brian. He's got like 50,000 names. Okay, so here's his chart. We don't know his birth time either. He has Venus in Aries. Oh, snap. Okay, hold on. Venus at 11 degrees of Aries. I think I saw some node stuff, guys. Hold on. Venus in Aries, 11 degrees. And, oh, she has, okay, her north node is 27 degrees Aries. His Venus is on her Saturn. So you know what? Venus and Saturn contacts in synastry. Sometimes it can be a Debbie Downer aspect, but sometimes it can help to ground the couple, because Saturn is an anchor, it grounds, you know, so they probably ground each other in some kind of way. So that could be a good point for them. What else has he got? Oh, he has Mars in Libra. Okay, let's see. No, his Mars is in Virgo. This is very hard to read. I'm going to look at the list. Okay, he's got Mars in Virgo. So, okay, Mars in Virgo. So Virgo is not necessarily the sign of the gentleman, I would say, but, oh, wait, no, hold on. Oh, my gosh. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm not used to looking at this chart, and it's the only one I could pull up really quick. He has Mars in Scorpio. Okay, he has Mars in Scorpio. Interesting. What else does he have? Oh wow. So he's like a yeah, he's a scorpionic dude. But he's got Sun, Moon, Mercury all in Aquarius. Interesting. So he's an Aquarius. Tony's a Libra. And just in general for Libra, Aquarius is their 5th house. So, okay, that can work out. So she may find some romantic attraction to him. Maybe she brightens up his world with his quirkiness. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is why a lot of Libras can end up with people that you would never expect them to date, is because Libra's natural 5th house is Aquarius. So there we go with that. His Mars is conjunct her Neptune. Wow. So he probably takes her away to another place. That's all I'm going to say. Not going to get inappropriate. Okay. So what else do they have going on? His Jupiter is in Libra. Okay. What degree is her Sun in Libra? Her Sun is at 13 degrees Libra. His Jupiter is at 5. Okay. So it's a wide conjunction, but it still can count. It's an 8 degree of separation. We'll count that. So a lot of times when someone's Jupiter is conjunct someone's Sun in synastry in a couple, a lot of times they do feel like that person lights up their life. They light up their world. They think they're an awesome person. Jupiter is the planet of everything is awesome, using that word awesome, right? So they can feel like that person brings that out of them. And his Jupiter is conjunct her Juno asteroid, the marriage asteroid. Very interesting. So therefore, yeah, and also, yeah, it's conjunct her Juno asteroid. So, you know, he probably brings some maybe like wifely qualities out of her, or maybe she brings some husbandly qualities out of him. You know, that can maybe cause that. Let's see any other points. He has Uranus in Libra. Oh, okay, but it doesn't conjunct her Sun. Okay, what else? He has Mars and Neptune conjunct as well. So they really probably just go off into their own zone together. And I would say for Tony to be mindful and careful of Mars conjunct Neptune men, just because of the negative side of that is maybe they can pull these disappearing acts. Like when they get upset, when there's a problem in the relationship, they can be the type of men that like disappear all night and turn off their phones, or they can disappear for days and turn off their phones and you don't know where they are and they have you all worried. And she's got Venus in Virgo. She will worry, okay? So I would say for her to be careful with that. Let's see. Anything else? He has Chiron in Aries. Okay. Venus in Aries. Well, I have got to Jet, but she has Moon in Sag. He doesn't have anything in Sagittarius, but we never know what his 9th house looks like. Maybe he can have 9th house planets that satisfies her need for a Sagittarian Jupiter type of man, you know, a guy that can take her out on adventures and a guy who's philosophical and stuff like that. And he has Venus in Aries, and Venus is in Aries. It's opposite to her Sun, but sometimes opposite energies can attract one another. You know, so maybe she's attracted to his Venus in Aries way of like expressing himself in love. You know what I mean? Maybe because opposites attract. She's more Libra and like, well, I don't know. You decide. I don't know. You pick whatever you like. And his Venus in Aries is like, come on, girl, let's go. Let's get out of here. Let's go somewhere. Come on. We're going over here. And she's just like, oh, okay. This is something different from my Libra usual indecisiveness. You know what I'm saying? So maybe that could work out for them. And then also his Venus is trying her Mars. Hey now, I'm going to sign off of here with that. Okay. When someone's Mars is trying another person's Venus, that means their masculine and energy and feminine energies can flow really well together. They're in the same element. They're 7 degrees apart. Okay. Because look at his Venus is at 11 degrees of Aries, almost 12. Okay. So they have a really decent flow of energy between the masculine and feminine because of that. And then they both have suns and air signs. So that's also why it can work out. But I know if I were to have their birth times, or at least one person's birth time, I could see so much more with their relationship. So I don't see any like really soulmate type of ties between them. Let's see, his south node and North Node are in Aries too, and Aries and Libra, but they're not really conjunct her Sun. Yeah, so I don't really see like some common soulmate things that I see in people, but I see a decent flow of energy. I see maybe a couple of challenges, but you know, this is just very brief, very quick, no birth times. So yeah, that's what I see for Tony Braxton and Birdman, or Baby, or whatever he wants to go by. So hopefully you guys learned a little something about compatibility with that. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. I've got to peace out. Gotta go make my rounds, pick up like a ton of kids. But thank you so much for joining me. I hope you guys have an awesome weekend. I hope you have a great eclipse. Remember, manifestation, think of positive things, write them down, speak them into existence. And I'm thinking of maybe doing a video telling you guys about my North Node, South Node story, and maybe stories of other people that I know to kind of demonstrate how that works and what I see in your charts when I do those readings, the new readings that I'm offering. So once again, go check out my services on the Lada service page under my name and my picture. And I look forward to reading for some of you guys. So yeah, all right, happy eclipse, guys. Have a good weekend. See ya.